Do you do a whole lot of buying and selling stuff online, just in general?
I don't do a whole lot of online business. No.
You don't really like buy or sell anything like you don't use Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or anything like that.
I have never used Amazon Marketplace, and I haven't used Craigslist in many years.
No, you use Amazon. Amazon Marketplace is just Amazon.
Then yes, I've used Amazon.
Yeah.
I don't sell any of my belongings on Amazon.
It's because you don't have any belongings.
That's because I live a very minimalist lifestyle.
I do a lot of selling stuff online. It gets kind of annoying sometimes. I wish that you could sell things like in a video game.
Just go to the store and get the amount they're worth.
I wish I could just walk down to the 7-Eleven and just dump a bushel of stuff on the counter and be like, money, please. Come on, fork it over. It's like $300 right there. Come on.
You have a similar experience if you go to a charity donation place where you just dump all your stuff on the table and say, peace.
Yeah, I guess you can do that for like a tax write-off though.
I suppose, yeah.
It's like you're getting money from doing that, but not really.
Not really, no.
Yeah, I wish I could just go into a store and just dump a bunch of stuff on the counter and then they would just give me. That would be so convenient. It would make things so much easier.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I would just go walk around and just pick up garbage and then just be like, yeah, I found this chicken in the floor. I found this chicken in the wall.
Wall chickens.
I found this chicken in some grass.
Why are there so many chickens?
Well, because there's always different types of chicken in video games. I'm just going like full video game analogy. I found this fork.
Okay.
And they'll be like, all right, that's like 300 gold. And they'll be like, hell yeah. But then you realize that like a lemonade costs like 600 gold. So I guess that really...
And it only heals you for 15 HP.
Man, that kind of sucks though.
Mm-hmm. Almost makes it so that picking up chickens ain't worth it.
Almost. Completely unrelated. Do you know where hit points initially came from?
No, I'm gonna assume some kind of Dungeons and Dragons style thing.
Hit points initially came from what could be considered a war game where the US Navy was trying to figure out the combat effectiveness of a bunch of its different ships. So the amount of hit points a ship had was how many rounds it could take from a naval cannon and still be combat worthy.
Okay.
So to quote, I forget the name of the video or the name of the YouTube channel, but to quote his video, the HP of every living thing on planet Earth is 1. Everything has an HP of 1.
Yeah, so you can take one single rocket to the face.
One single ship cannon. That is all it can handle. Anyway, I do quite a bit of selling different things online through different. I'll use Facebook Marketplace, or there's a website I go on for buying and selling like firearms accessories. So I do a bunch of stuff like that, and it's a little disappointing that you haven't done that because you've missed out on some of the most wonderful interactions.
Every time you've told me about you trying to sell something, it's always been, God, I hate selling stuff to these people. These guys are all morons.
Yes, that's true.
It's an awful experience. Thank God you don't have anything. You'd have to experience this. And I'm like, yeah, thank God I don't.
Yep. That just means you're missing out, man. You're missing out on some of the best parts of dealing with humanity.
I feel like I'm missing out on nothing worthwhile.
I had someone message me the other day for this thing I was selling, and they said, hey, would you be willing to trade? And on this website, you can see when someone has left the conversation because it'll just when you look at all of the different messages you have, it'll just say channel closed.
Mm-hmm.
So this person messages me and says, "Hey, are you interested in trading?" And I said, "I might be. What are you offering?" Channel closed. All right, thanks, man. Like literally immediately after I replied to him with, "I might be. What are you offering?" He just goes, "I'm out."
Might have sent out a few different emails and he's just so fast that he found somebody.
Maybe. I don't know. But like the thing I have is still for sale. So like what?
Why would he need 2 of it?
I don't know. This is, have I ever told you how you buy anything? How you buy something on Facebook Marketplace? These are the requirements. These are the requirements for buying something for messaging someone. Let's say I have a thing for sale on Facebook Marketplace and you are interested in it. These are the requirements you must meet in order to message me about buying this thing.
A functioning email.
No. Hang on. It's less in depth than that. I promise it's less in depth than that. All right.
A pulse.
These are not in any particular order. You have to have an IQ of 7.
I don't think there's an actual thing that measures IQ.
Well, you have to have an IQ of 7 first.
Okay.
You have to ask, is this available? And then stop talking to me entirely.
Mm-hmm.
If you do reply, you have to take an hour to reply to any message I send. At least 1 hour.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I do get back to you, you have to get mad at me for not getting back to you faster. Also, you have to refuse to speak English. Those are the requirements to buy anything on Facebook Marketplace. They must be the requirements, because otherwise, how has that been my experience literally every single time I've tried to sell something on Facebook Marketplace?
I see. So this is just you having a whinge because you've had some negative experiences with buyers.
No, I'm just bringing up fun things.
It's a legitimate criticism, damn it.
Let me tell you about one of my all-time favorite interactions with trying to sell something.
Okay.
I was trying to sell a thing. I forget what it was. It doesn't matter. I was trying to sell a thing.
Used butt plug.
No, it was not a used butt. That would be something you would be trying to sell. So I'm trying to sell this thing, and this guy messages me, and let's say I'm selling it for $1,000. This guy messages me, and he says, "Hey man, I don't have $1,000, but I can give you $700 worth of quality tattoo work. Also, I don't actually work at a tattoo place right now, so you'd have to come over to my house, and I'd do it in my living room." I'm asking $1,000 for it. Not only can he not even give me $1,000 of quality tattoo work, it's only $700 worth.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently. I replied to him, "Is there any crack left, or did you smoke all of it?" And then just immediately deleted the conversation. Just like, what is wrong? What actually is wrong with you?
Mm.
How broken is your brain? It's too many nights of the old autoerotic asphyxiation, huh?
He's just used to people setting a high bar, you know, and so the haggling process and stuff like that. He's just used to it.
I should have set the bar a little fucking higher. Good lord.
Should have also mentioned in your sales pitch, no failed tattoo artists.
Yeah, I have to put on a lot of my stuff when I sell it online. A lot of it I have to put no trades, and then I still get trade offers, which is infuriating, but like whatever. I had a while ago, I was trying to sell a camera on Facebook Marketplace, and like I had this camera list. So I do a lot of selling stuff, or I used to do a lot of selling stuff on eBay. There was a whole period where I basically didn't have a job, and I just made money going to Goodwill, buying stuff, and then reselling it on eBay.
All right.
I made like $300 on a backpack at one point because it was like a 1990s like hiking day pack that was actually made by a really good company. I paid $25 for it and then resold it for like $300.
Nice. If you got the eye for that kind of thing, other people don't. They'll give away some useful stuff for dirt cheap.
Yeah. So yeah, I used to do a lot of selling of stuff on eBay. I don't really much anymore, but
I imagine it's kind of time consuming.
Yeah, it's a little time consuming, and you gotta, make the listing, and you gotta respond to anyone that emails you about it. Usually people don't really message you about stuff on eBay. I had this older Nikon single lens reflex camera that I was trying to sell, and I was selling it with a bunch of different lenses, and I put it on eBay, and like nobody was really, there were like 2 people watching it, and like nobody was really interested in it. So I was like, all right, fine, I'll resort to using Facebook Marketplace. So I put it on Facebook Marketplace, and I just start getting inundated with messages about not what normal people would be asking questions about. Will that camera take pictures upside down? Yes.
Will that camera work in Jell-O?
No. Every other message was literally, is this still available? And then they never follow up with anything. It's just, is this still available? Yes. And then they stop replying. So I started putting in my listing, if you ask if this is still available, I will not reply.
I'm sure that deterred everyone from
nope,
asking.
Still get all of them.
I don't believe it.
Lots of really dumb questions, and then finally this guy was like, "Yo, I'll buy it," and I'm like, "All right, great." And just because someone says, when you're selling things on Facebook Marketplace, if someone says, "I will buy it," that does not mean that it is sold. That means that they think they're going to buy it. That means that they're messaging to give you false hope, and then they're going to disappear.
Yeah, until the transaction is complete, it's incomplete.
So the 4th person that said, "I'll buy it," actually follows through and replies to me. Great. So I meet him, I sell him a camera, and then like an hour later he messages me back, "Hey man, I can't figure out how to use this camera, I need my money back."
Figure it out, buddy.
The worst part was too, when he showed up to buy the camera, he was like, "Yeah, I don't really know how to use this camera, but I'm trying to get into photography, so I can figure it out." Like an hour later, "I can't figure it out, I want my money back."
As if you're an actual store with a return policy.
Well, the worst part is on that one, if I don't give him his money back, Facebook will actually just take my money. Like Facebook Marketplace can theoretically just take my money from me.
Yeah, as long as he returns it, it's a hassle.
So, whatever. I gave him the money back. I took the fucking camera back. I ended up giving it to one of my friends. Just like, It's really frustrating trying to sell stuff on there. It makes me wonder, like, who are these weird not people that are messaging you? What is going on inside their head between bong rips when they send you messages like, is this still available? Or can I use this camera to take x-ray photos?
Yeah.
It's really annoying.
I gotta say, I don't do much business online. It sounds like you've had your fair share of difficulties with it.
It's fun though. You meet the most interesting people.
You and I might not have had the best experiences with it, but my friend Dave certainly has. He's very savvy in that regard.
Dave, I know Dave sells a lot of stuff on there. I need to...
There was a movie theater that closed down near us, so we bought up a bunch of the movie theater's seats.
He bought
an entire movie theater's...
They auctioned off each one of the theaters.
Yeah.
And he bought the whole... It wasn't the building. It was just everything inside that theater.
Yeah, and he bought room number 8, something like that.
Yeah. He bought the whole... Didn't his dad buy one too?
Yeah, something like... I don't know, yeah. They just kind of sold off those chairs one by one.
Yeah. It's like, if you've got the patience for it, do it.
I went to Dave's house the other day, and he said, "You need a new monitor for your computer?" And I said, "No, I'm good." And he said, "You sure? Because I got 50 of them." And he took me downstairs. We had 50 monitors strewn down there.
You should take one of those monitors. I'll take one of those monitors.
You might still have some.
I'll have to talk to him and see if he's still got any of those monitors. There's people that do a ton of that stuff, like more than I do, where they have... You can set up notifications where anytime something free shows up, it tells you about it. And I knew people... I worked with a dude that had like notifications for that up. And there was occasionally in the middle of the workday, he'd be like, "I gotta go." And he would just get up and leave. And then come back like an hour later with like 50 empty propane canisters. And it was just like, why do you have those? And he was like, "They were free.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna sell them. I'm gonna sell them for $5 a piece."
Okay.
And I just made a bunch of money. All right, great.
Yeah. Everybody wins. The person who wanted to get rid of them has gotten rid of them. The person who wanted to make money has made money.
I guess, yeah. It's just interesting how some of those interactions go. And it's like, am I just a magnet for attracting the dregs of humanity that are trying to scam me out of a $300 camera?
You do seem to attract a bunch of weirdos, yes.
I have to put, like, every single listing, anytime I list anything, I've made myself a promise that I will not use Facebook Marketplace again until I inevitably have to use Facebook Marketplace again. And then I'm probably just going to use Craigslist instead, because at least Craigslist is a little bit better. Anytime I make a listing on there, I have to put, if the ad is still up, it's still available. No trades, no, price is firm, blah, blah, like all of these different stipulations to it to just try to filter out some of these stupid messages.
Yeah.
"No, I will not trade you for a pig. I am not Mike's old boss."
Everyone benefits in that regard.
I don't want a pig. Where am I supposed to put a pig?
In your pigsty.
I don't have a pigsty.
I know where you can get one. The
I'm
marketplace.
not going on there. So this is completely unrelated, and this is partially me being stupid. I was poking around on eBay for like as I want to do, just looking at random stuff on eBay. And eBay recommends me just some of the weirdest stuff because I search for the weirdest stuff.
Yeah.
It'll just start recommending me like random rocks. Or like, here's a chunk of a meteorite, or here's a piece from a F-100 engine that goes in an F-15.
They know you too well at this point.
They do. Anyway, I'm poking around on eBay at one point, and it's this one of the recommendations is like, look at these absolutely rough, uncut gemstones. There's like ruby and what's the green? Emerald. Ruby and emerald and these other ones. I'm like, oh, those are really neat. And they're like, the images look really cool. And it's like, I'm not gonna I don't care what the quality of them is.
I'll buy a rock tumbler.
I don't. Well, it's just like they're uncut, so it's just like a really rough looking gemstones. I'm like, I don't care what the quality is. It's like I'm just gonna get them and put them on a shelf and be like, look at that. Look, I got a ruby.
Yeah,
I got a big old ruby.
Yeah,
it just hasn't been
chunk of ruby.
It's a big old and maybe it's really ugly, but you know what? I don't care because I'm not getting it for the cut of the gem. It's not even cut. I'm getting it for the fact that it's a ruby.
Yeah.
As it came out of the earth. I was like, oh, that's really neat. So I ordered like a ruby and a sapphire and an emerald. I ordered those 3. Of
course.
They weren't that expensive. It's like, neat. They get to the house and I open up the packaging and they literally are just quartz that has been dyed. Like someone took a chunk of quartz and threw it into a vat and dyed it.
So they didn't think you'd be able to figure that out, huh?
Like the dye literally came off on the paper. That's like they picked them out of the die, wrapped them in paper, and then threw them into a box.
Wow, that's pretty lazy.
I was like, wow, this is...
You have to put some effort into your scams, jeez.
I've been ripped off before, but not like usually when I get ripped off, it's not immediately obvious that it's a ripoff.
Mm-hmm. Other people have put effort into it.
They put some effort into it. This guy put like zero effort into it.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, this is like an Ed Netty scam. Like they just like he painted a rock red and then said that it was a ruby so that he could get money to buy Jawbreakers. Ed Netty legitimately would have put more thought into it. They would have like painted a chunk of broken glass or something. Like, this is ridiculous. So I messaged them and I'm like, yeah, I want a refund.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no refunds. I'm just like, no, you don't understand. Because this is through PayPal, you're giving me a refund. And I'm going to send the rocks back to you. And then I gave them like a really bad review that it's just like, they sent me a painted rock.
Yeah.
Immediately they're just like, look, we'll refund you the money and we'll send you some more ones. And you just got to take the negative review down. And I'm just like, no. You refund me my money first and then I'll think about it. And they're like, okay, well, we'll send you a link. All right, we refunded you the money. We'll send you a link to take down the negative review. And they never sent me a link, so the negative review is still up there. It's still just me bitching for a paragraph about how I got ripped off by these jackasses. That was actually pretty funny. Like, it's a funny story now, but at the time, I'm just like...
You weren't laughing at the time,
At the time, I'm just like... I kind of was laughing, because it was just kind of like, the fuck is this? What is this?
I should be outraged, but I can't because it's so dumb. I can't wrap my head around it.
Look, there's literally dye on my fingers. This is so stupid. You stupid idiots. You sent me a dyed rock. Like, if they had just painted lead with gold spray paint, it would have been more convincing.
The only way it could have been dumber is if they tried to pour out Mountain Dew to make the emerald, because Mountain Dew is green.
Mountain Dew green. No, they sent me an ice cube of Mountain Dew. It's like, you dumb idiot.
But by the time it got to your house, it melted.
There used to be, I don't know if you remember the golden days, the golden era of eBay. There was some really funny stuff on eBay. There used to be some hilarious stuff on there. You can still get almost anything on eBay. It's kind of insane, the amount of like weird stuff you can get on there. But like, it used to be truly insane. I remember there was an eBay listing for a haunted rubber duck. And the guy had this whole detailed article about this rubber duck and how it bit him at one point. And it was just the whole thing. And people were somebody paid like $300 for this rubber duck. It's great. I loved it. It was amazing. There was, I remember there was a really big blizzard here one year, and some dude was selling snow from the blizzard on eBay. He was just putting it in jars, and it said like in the listing, I cannot guarantee that the snow will arrive to you still frozen. So it was like you were just going to get a mason jar of water. I will make every effort to ensure that the snow stays frozen, but I cannot guarantee its frozenness. I love looking at crap on eBay. Can I just tell you some of the things that are in my watch list?
Oh geez. What are you looking at right now? What are you looking to prospect to buy?
New Polaroid C110 blank cassette tape, Type 2. Aircraft Gasper air socket.
That's not a normal thing people order.
No, it's one of the little things that's inside the airplane that you open and it goes psh, and it sprays air on you.
Oh, the air nozzle.
Yeah, it's one of the air nozzles.
Why do you want one of those?
I don't know, because it's made of aluminum and it's neat.
Lots of things are made of aluminum. You realize that's like a good portion of the Earth's crust.
Yeah, but it's a sphere, and it's got a little adjustment thing on the inside. See, you can turn it, and look, there's two like screws that hold everything in place in there. It's really cool. It's well machined.
Okay.
Oh, Ogonquit Beach Plover Watch 2015 TV shirt or t-shirt.
A t-shirt about a bird.
It's a t-shirt about it from the Piping Plover Watch. A pneumatic tube for like a bank. You know, when you go to the bank and then they got the little tube.
I know the pneumatic tube. Why? Why are you buying a pneumatic tube?
I'm not buying it. I'm watching it. I'm just looking at it to see if they make me a good offer on it. I might buy it.
You know, those are just free. You can go by the bank and grab one and drive off.
I don't know if you know this, but the pneumatic tubes at banks are free. They can't stop you.
I've got 27 in my bathroom.
Except they have your bank account information and your license plate, so they can definitely stop you.
Just drive somebody else's car and give them somebody else's bank.
When I was in the military, this reminded me of the drive someone else's car. When I was in the military, I let my friend borrow my car at one point to go to Taco Bell. And the next day I was at work and my company commander called me into the office and he was like, Why did you steal some of the diner trays from Taco Bell? I was like, what? What do you mean?
Someone committed a crime in your name.
My friend that borrowed my car went to Taco Bell and then stole like 4 of the plastic trays from Taco Bell. And they wrote down my license plate. For some reason, the employees at Taco Bell were like, no way. So they wrote down my name they wrote down my license plate.
To get those plastic trays back, they each cost like 12 cents.
Yeah, God, you gotta get those trays back. I was basically like, yeah, I let my friend borrow my car. Well, who? I'm not a rat. I'm not telling you.
Well, you're accountable for those 6 trays.
I was like, fine, I'll go buy. I went back to Taco Bell and I paid them for the trays. I was just like, this is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But whatever. He stole the trays to put under the rear wheels of a front wheel drive car so that he could make it slide around in circles.
Making his own little
made his like weird little drift car.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, you said the stealing your license plate, and it reminded me of that. Let's look at some of the other things that are on my list. Oh, here we go. A Formula One pressure valve from a Formula One race car.
If there's a weird aluminum doodad
No, this is made of titanium.
Okay.
Yeah, get it right. This one's made of titanium, and it was in the 2007 Honda F1 car driven by Jenson Button and Rubens Barrichello during the 2007 season.
Okay.
Oh, this one is made of aluminum though. It's just a little container. They don't have a ruler next to it, so I have no idea how big it is. What else is on here? Three boxes of 500-gram emergency food rations. They're survival biscuits.
Goodness. Just buying some crackers.
No, they're not crackers. It's like a paste. It's like a high density, high calorie paste that's in a little brick.
You're getting cracker paste.
And you eat like 2 of them a day.
You could just buy crackers at the store.
Yeah, but those are emergency food rations. They're stable for a very long time. Look, they say 7 oceans and there's a little boat on the front. See? Standard emergency food ration. How many calories are in one thing? I must know. I looked at this before. Let's look at the nutrition facts. Serving size is 1 bar. There's 278 calories in 1 bar. Holy shit.
Zach, you can just get nutrition bars and like...
Yeah, but these are very calorie dense.
Yeah, so are like Cliff bars and granola bars.
These are more calorie dense.
Who cares?
Me, I care.
Who cares? Who actually cares?
Me, I care.
Stop. That's dumb. Don't care about that.
No, it isn't, because then I keep them as a survival thing.
Just use the bars.
Why? They aren't as shelf stable.
Because they're not $45.
They aren't as shelf stable as this is.
You don't have to keep them in your car for 5 years. Just every year, you eat your rations and replenish them.
Look, here's a wood quail.
There's a wooden quail, yes.
Yeah, there's a wooden quail. There's a lot anyway, point being, I got a lot of weird random crap. I don't know what this is. This is a valve for something, but the handle is made of Ultem and it's autoclavable.
Don't you already have enough weird stuff in your house?
I don't have enough weird stuff. I need more weird stuff. You don't understand the amount of weird stuff that I need. I like poking around on eBay and finding things. How am I supposed to make more episodes of this thing I own if I don't have weird things to own?
Fair enough.
Exactly, see?
You got plenty of stuff to work with that you haven't gotten to yet, though.
But I can always use more.
Okay.
I can always use more stuff. My grandpa was basically the exact same way. My grandpa had just he actually did have a lab.
A laboratory?
Yeah, he actually did have a lab because he was a forensic pathologist? I think it was forensic pathologist. I think that's the correct term for it. He did like laboratory detective work, but he actually had a lab with a bunch of stuff in there. But then there would also be just like completely random things in there. Like he had a typewriter from like 1800s. Yeah, he always just had weird stuff like that. It's funny that whenever my family comes over and they see the room that's like my office, technically.
Your office /
collection.
Yeah.
They're just like, this just looks like Grandpa's office. Have you showed you the tube I have made of Ultem? Why do you have that? I don't know. It's neat. I like the color.
Yeah, you've got a lot of weird stuff.
I've got a neon and an argon light bulb.
Okay.
At least I think it's neon and argon.
It's 2 neon lights. One of them's got painted.
Well, no, because one of them is purple and the other one is orange. Have you ever seen those things that people put in their windows on Christmas that are they look like a candle, but it's a light bulb?
Okay.
And it flickers.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen those?
Yeah.
It's one of those. But instead of being in a candle shape, it's in a normal light bulb shape. And the funny thing about those, Technology Connections actually did a really cool video on those light bulbs specifically. I love that channel. That channel's great. Those light bulbs are made incorrectly. They're purposefully made wrong so that they flicker.
Oh, okay.
It's actually a neon bulb. It's really interesting. I have 2 of them. One of them is purple and one of them is orange. I think the purple one is argon. I can't remember, because neon glows orange. I think argon glows purple. But yeah, they're really neat. I think those light bulbs are super interesting just because they have a really long. Actually, on old power strips, if you look at old power strips where they have the little light on them, those ones are actually made out of little tiny neon bulbs. And that was back before they started making everything out of LEDs because LEDs cost nothing to make. But yeah, those light bulbs are really great for applications where you have to have the light on for a very long period of time and you won't be turning it off. So because they have a really, really long shelf life, unlike incandescent bulbs, which will burn out over like a year or two.
You have this passion for the strangest things. I'll never understand it.
I remember one of my friends told me that I know more about nothing than anyone he's ever met in his entire life.
Your knowledge of the trivial is all-encompassing, it feels like.
Yeah. It's that ADHD brain, baby. Just sucks in knowledge. Not useful knowledge, though. God forbid it's useful.
Just knowledge in general.
Oh, you want to know how to actually survive society as an adult? No. Here's a light bulb. Entertain yourself. And I'm like, okay.
Just start holding it in your hand. Doesn't it feel nice? You can find all the ligaments and the filaments.
Don't you want to know how the inside of a VCR works, even though no one's used a VCR for 10 years now? Yes, I do. I do want to know how the inside of a VCR works. Tell me more about the drum that records onto the cassette tape.
You're cracking open a Morse code tapper trying to figure out how that works.
Oh, that's really easy. That's just metal connections.
Yeah.
I know how those work. There's just beep, 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 beep. I can't understand Morse code. It's completely off topic. I can't understand it.
No?
I've tried so many times to learn Morse code. I can't do it.
It's not a very useful skill to have these days.
It really isn't. And like anyone that's actually good, anyone that they would use to encode Morse code is good enough at it that they can do it quickly. And my brain cannot process it that quickly.
All you need to know is SOS and you're good.
I just had a realization when they do Morse code, like when it's like telegraphs, like beep 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 beep, like that stuff. Am I measuring the blank spots in between it?
I don't.
Am I measuring the blank spots in between the beeps? Because the beeps are longer. Never mind.
Yeah.
The beeps are longer. I'm losing my mind. For a second, my brain was like, wait, it's the spaces that are longer, not the beeps that are longer. And it's like, brain, stop actively sabotaging me, brain. My brain goes, I almost got you that time, fucker.
Your brain's a dick.
My brain is a dick. Brain is an asshole.
How can the spaces be longer if the beeps aren't longer?
my brain is just like, oh yeah, here's a 5-gallon NATO-style 20-liter jerry can.
That's a jerry can, all right.
Yeah, but this one is actually made of metal, and it's got a couple of the really good features, like the weld is recessed into the body of it. Yep, that's important on a jerry can. Yeah. You want the weld to be recessed. You know why jerry cans got 3 handles?
I can only guess.
They got 3 handles because 1, you can carry it by the handle in the middle if you're carrying it by yourself. 2, you can carry 2 of them together if you grab the outside-most handles of 2 of them. So you can carry 2 jerry cans at the same time. 3, they got multiple handles so you can like lash them together and carry a bunch of them.
That makes sense.
Yeah. There's, to recommend another YouTuber, there's a YouTuber named Callum who has a whole like 30-minute video about how the jerry can was like the Germans' secret weapon of World War II. And they're amazing. And there's a reason that they still are being used today. They're really cool. Jerry cans are neat. I love stuff like that.
Sure.
What is it? Oh, you know those wave break things that you see like on beaches? The multi-pointed wave break things that look like caltrops?
No, I've never heard of those.
Oh, they're called tetrapods. They use them on a lot of beaches. Sometimes they use them in California. They use them on a lot of beaches in Japan.
Why?
Because they stop the waves from eroding the beach. It's the same thing as like putting a bunch of rocks along the beach. It's to help keep the beach from eroding.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, they're little tiny versions of those things.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know why those are on there because I think they're neat. Oh, these are neat. They're wing nuts for an aircraft, but the reason I have them added to my list is because I might buy them at some point because they're DZUS is the name of the company that made them, so that I can say they're
Jesus nuts.
I can say they're Jesus nuts. Yeah. That's it.
Come on.
That's the only reason those are on there.
You can think things are interesting without spending money on them.
Yeah, but when they're like $10, why not?
Because $10 saved is $10 earned.
Because it makes me happy to hold it. When I have it in my hand, I'm like, this makes me happy. I like having this. Okay. I'm not kidding you. I am not kidding you. I still have a titanium bolt from an F-100 jet engine that is sitting on my desk on top of a tiny aluminum cinder block that I got off. It's a cinder block, like a normal cinder block that you would see. but it's made out of aluminum and it's very small. It's like 1.5 inches long.
Yes.
And I put the titanium bolt on top of the aluminum cinder block, and it sits on my desk. And occasionally I pick it up and I play with the little. I hold the titanium bolt in my hands, and I feel the smoothness. And then sometimes I'll take my calipers that are on my desk and I'll measure parts of the little titanium bolt, and then I put it back. And it makes me happy just to do that occasionally.
Your own little fidget spinners.
They're kind of like fidget spinners.
They serve the same purpose.
They serve the same purpose. It's just me
touching fun things.
Just touching fun things. When I was still in the military, and they sent me to anger management and also counseling. One of the counselors that I went to see had like 3 2-inch by 2-inch squares of chainmail on her desk.
Okay. Just had some chainmail.
She had some chainmail, and I went and I was talking to her, and immediately just like picked it up and started playing with it. The moment I started doing that, I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I should be." She's like, "Nope, that's why I have them there." People just do that. They just do that. I'm like, "Where did you get this?" And she's like, "One of my other patients makes them." And I was like, "I could make chainmail."
Of course.
Just need some wire, some things to bend them. I could do that.
You could.
I wonder if you could engineer a machine that just rapidly makes chainmail by just like looping it around itself. Just
there's probably a company out there.
I bet you could do that. And then she's like Zach. Oh, what? Huh? It's been 20 minutes. Where are you? What are you doing? I was thinking about chainmail. Yeah, I know you worked.
You're back now? You back with us? All right, we're talking about your Article 15.
We're talking about chaptering you out of the military. Oh, thank God, that's what I finally wanted. Oh, well, then you're staying in.
And then you got stop lost.
Yeah, and then I got stop lost. I never got an Article 15 while I was in the military. I was a good boy.
Yeah, you're a good cookie.
I never got an Article 15.
Congratulations, me neither.
Yeah.
Didn't have many opportunities myself, but still.
I had lots of opportunities. All right, that's it. I just wanted to talk about random stuff.
Okay, I look forward to seeing more random stuff that you acquire.
Yeah. I mean, I came over today with a tripod. That actually does serve a purpose, though.
That seems like a pragmatic thing to purchase as opposed to random junk.
Well, what am I supposed to film the random junk with if I don't have a tripod? And what random junk am I supposed to film with the tripod and the camera on the tripod? Obviously, I know you can't just film with a tripod. I'm not sitting. That's not the reason why I haven't made this thing I own in months. Is because I've just been screaming at a tripod, trying to figure out why won't you connect to Google?
So you got a new tripod because the last one wasn't working.
I'm just screaming at the tripod. Go to altavista.net.
You're like from that Gangnam Style video, only you're screaming at a tripod instead.
Oh my God.